Hey guys, welcome back. On today's video, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the sale that Logan Paul had just made with Auction House Golden. They sold a bunch of products, right? Some of the products are still being sold currently. However, the two big sales have actually ended. The first sale was the illustration rare Pikachu. Logan Paul bought that back in 2021 at kind of the hype end of the 2021 cycle. He bought that Pikachu Illustrator Rare for $5.6 million. And that was a pretty, record sale, right? Because it was, at the time, that was the Pokemon card I ever purchased. Went to the Guinness World Records, I think. And so now he sold it again. This time it sold with buyer's premium, which means that technically he made less because the auction house takes some money. He made this card sold for a total of $16 million and some change, along with the first edition Charizard at $900K. So, even though these prices don't reflect the overall state of the hobby, right? Because obviously these are high end. These are just a couple of things that have been sold, and obviously they're being sold by Logan Paul, which means that there's going to be a premium on them, right? Because part of you wants to buy it for maybe a little bit of clout, for buying it, right? So obviously, these prices, you could argue, are a little inflated, which of course they are. But what this does really is bring a couple of things to light. One is the overall recognition that Pokemon can be valued at a high level, right? That there's a lot of movie money going around, especially on the high-end slabs and sealed. It puts Pokemon not on the map, because it's already on the map, right? Obviously, 30th anniversary, had a Super Bowl commercial. It's just a big IP, right? But what this does is really bring headline news to people who don't necessarily involve themselves with Pokemon. So a lot of people who are just, average, everyday people, right? They don't really necessarily focus on Pokemon. And they just see the sale, and they're just damn, I remember, they're probably thinking in their head, damn, I remember when I was a kid, I had a Pokemon cards. And they're seeing these massive prices, right? $60 million, almost $1 million for one card. These prices are, impressive, right? And they're really, showing where, Pokemon's headed, at least in the current climate, right? Obviously, I do collect Pokemon, at least the sealed part of it mainly, and I've been doing it for the last 2 years now, ever since 141 come out. And my issue with Pokemon cards at this moment is it's so hard to get. If you want single packs of really anything, you have to just get lucky at Target or Walmart or something like that. Because when you look at the secondary market, obviously everything's going to be inflated because of the current hype cycle. You're looking at prismatic ETBs being over $140. You're looking at the new set, right? I mean, the 3-pack Blizzards are $40. I get it, right? It's a good set. It's got popular Pokemon, and it's a chase set, right? There's $1,000 cards in it, so I get it. There's God packs. There's a potential to make money ripping, which totally understand. It's a cool set. I actually ripped a couple, but I ripped them at MSRP. I'm not going to pay $40 plus for 3-packs. Now, I mean, even at MSRP, right? I'm paying $15 to $20 per 3-pack. That's still an expensive price, right? For pack, just packs to get nothing, and the potential to get something, obviously. But these are just things that are kind of happening in the hobby right now. So a lot of these people, they're watching this little story on one of their news channels about this Pikachu that got sold. They're trying to jump into Pokemon, but they're not going to be able to join in because it's so expensive. And there still will be people who join in, right? Even like they think they can make money too, and on a lot of it they can. I mean, I don't disagree with the sentiment that, Pokemon can't be making, if you buy in right now, that you can't make money, because you can. I just think there's going to be a lot of people in the short term buying Pokemon because of this auction and because of the 30th anniversary. And I do think that Pokemon is going to realize this like explosion in people that are joining their community, and they're going to print a lot of cards. And these this year, honestly, I have no idea what they're doing, but I could see a future, right, in year 2 where they just print so many cards, and like I could see the hobby kind of dwindling after this 30th anniversary. And I truly could see like it being to a point where there's so much product that the prices just tank for the new product. Old product obviously is still going to have its scarcity, but still I could definitely see a regression in the amount of people in the hobby and a surplus of Pokemon product in a year or two. Now, obviously, we need to get there, and that we're still going to endure these prices during this time. But I really think that if you're buying Pokemon right now, I would be more selective and not just buy whatever you can, because there will be a point where one of these sets won't come out at MSRP. They'll go below, and once that happens, they'll start sitting on shelves. And once sets start stockpiling on shelves, right, like a set comes out and it's not a set that they regularly like enjoy, this starts like a rolling effect of like, oh, like I don't want that set, oh, I don't want this set. Then people start being particular about sets, and so that's when you'll see certain sets like Destined Rivals pump. But the majority of the sets will fall when the market decides that there's too much Pokemon coming out that consumers can consume. It is not currently at that point, and we're still at a point where Pokemon's still very scarce, and there are certain sets that will always be expensive. I have a feeling that Prismatic will never hit MSRP, and that's only because of its hype, and it's tied to just evolutions. They're just kind of like too popular for this set to ever sit at MSRP, because there's just too many buyers. Even if they print, like they've already printed a crap ton, and it's still like majority of like the area, it's overpriced. I mean, that's all I got for today. I really want you guys to really, if you're like collecting right now, you're trying to collect, just be more focused on what you're buying. Be more sparse. No, not sparse. Be more scarce on what you actually purchase, right? Like, don't just buy, like Surging Sparks ETB for $60. Like, if you don't like Surging Sparks, or you don't believe in Surging Sparks as a set, I wouldn't buy that ETB, because, like, for all you know, ETBs can go down to $40, $30 if they reprint everything and everyone just gives up on the Pokemon at the same time. You could really see those prices. Those prices aren't unheard of. I got like Silver Tempest ETBs for $25, $20. Lost Origin ETBs were down to like $28. Like, these prices aren't unheard of, and like especially in sets like Lost Origin, which are good. I mean, it's not a bad set. It was at a time where Pokemon wasn't as popular, and there's too much supply. And I think that's coming up. I think we're at the cycle now where like we're at the second bump, right? It bumped in September, kind of cooled off, and it bumped again in January, and I just want to see kind of where we're going to sit. It's kind of hard to like speculate, especially with the 30th anniversary, and just kind of seeing what kind of sets that they come out with. Perfect Order is definitely a set that like you can look at and go, dang, this set isn't going to be good. Like, I think Perfect Order might get the closest to MSRP since Surging Sparks. And this is like a really good pivot point to where like the hobby can realize that not every card in creation should always be MSRP upon release. And I think that's really, really going to be a good turning point. All I got.